It wasn't the gentle lapping of waves against the rocky shore, nor the familiar nausea of pregnancy that had awakened Catheline on that night of June 15th, 2012. But something deeper, older, an echo from another time. 3 somber chimes rang out from the bell tower of Hagiotropium's church. She turned to look at Antoine, still asleep, and tried to find rest again against his shoulder. But the panic within her surged, cold and subterranean. She rose from the bed, barefoot on the cool stone tiles, and made her way to the kitchen. There, standing before the immense darkness of the Citotamian Sea, she stopped. She stared at the mirrored surface of the water, smooth as black silk, brushed by the interwoven glow of the twin Lutherian moons, Mercidara, the red, and Trinitara, the blue. The sight was breathtaking. Yet even after all these years, Catheline had not grown used to it. She moved silently into the hallway and paused before the children's doors, left slightly ajar. Delphine, 7 years old, was fast asleep, and nestled against her was little Marie, barely 2, who had crept in for comfort. In the next room, 5-year-old Andéol was dreaming, his small shoulders shivering above the blanket he had kicked off in his sleep. Catheline stepped in, gently tucked him back in, and kissed his damp forehead. She smiled, softly, almost in disbelief. She would never have imagined finding such peace again, such sweetness in living. Surrounded by the man she loved, by these radiant children, on this strange new world she now called home, Lutheria. A land of curious customs and a language woven from ancient Greek and Latin, a world outside of time. Catheline closed her eyes, and the memories came back, scorching and vivid. Another life, another June 15th, the year 1558. She remembered the glaring sun over the rooftops of Saint-Tropez, the wind carrying the scent of salt and gunpowder. The screams, the flames, the Ottoman corsairs, Dragut. Antoine, the man she already loved, pierced before her very eyes, collapsing into her arms as she bore their first child inside her. She remembered the men, their foul breath, their calloused hands dragging her onto the ship. The stifling hold slick with sweat, the port of Algiers, the slave market, the shame of her nakedness, torn apart by gazes like blades. And the harem, the merchant, the assaults, his violence. Delphine born into pain, into silence, into fear. She remembered trying to escape with her newborn daughter, hoping a Mercedarian monastery might pity a mother and child. But the eunuchs from the harem, their skin as dark as the night, had pursued them. A misstep, a fall. She had died with Delphine in her arms, who died too. Until she awoke 6 years ago on Lutheria, Antoine by her side, younger, blonder, at first unrecognizable. But his eyes, they hadn't changed. That gentle gleam, that familiar unshakable light. She had known him beyond time, beyond death. Since then she had lived. But she knew. This happiness had a limit. 16 years of peace, not one more. For that is the fate of Lutherian men. They must go to war. Not a war of conquest, not a war of vengeance, but a crusade of liberation. In 10 years, Antoine would leave for Earth, to deliver those who, unknowingly, had become slaves. To break the invisible chains that bind humanity beneath the illusion of modernity, she would wait for him, as before. And this time, she would see him again. She believed it. Catheline was torn from the Renaissance to be reborn, free once more on another world. Follow those who embody the quest for memory and redemption of new peoples, destined to liberate the earth. But at what cost? The Shadow of the Princes, Chronicles of the Red Kings, Tome 1, now available on Amazon.